Hey folks, I have an interesting story to tell you and some updates on the open chain wildfire burning here in southwestern Oregon. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and allowing me to share our adventures with you here on the homestead, including the wildfires. Yeah, a lot of trauma drama going on in our nearby communities. So there's a community relief fund that a nonprofit organization is collecting for relief for the wildfire families who have lost everything in these wildfires. Like the Alameda fire, for one, that destroyed almost 2,400 homes. So it was just so devastating for so many. So if you feel in your heart to give to this foundation, it's www.asantefoundation.org. They have been established and been running the foundation, and they're settled in our community and have been for several years. So if you don't want to get caught up and give your money to some scoundrel, because there's a lot of them coming up and cropping up everywhere, is be sure you pick one that is really established and has a good track record and a good history. So I highly recommend www.asantefoundation.org. Okay, a little bit to the updates. One of the updates is the open chain fire burning outside of Eagle Point, Oregon is 30% contained now. They have lifted some of the evacuations levels. Some areas are still level 3, which is get out of Dodge now. And then we've been downgraded. I think the county is still at level 1. Right now, we have a little bit of wind. We have cloudy skies with thunderclouds. Yep, we've been having some lightning. And right now, as I'm filming this, we have no power. So, but what is that to me? I'm set. Okay, we're set here on the homestead. So I'm taking care of some business at for a friend of mine, property managing a ranch for her, and was taking care of some stuff down there. And a guy came over this morning and was picking up some items that I was giving to him. And he was the first one to call 911 to report the open chain fire. So when the investigators contacted him, because he was the first caller, they asked him to take them down to show them the origin, the point of origin of ignition for the fire. What he was doing up there is he and his crew were working on a project, and he noticed, this is the information he conveyed to me, he looked down the road a little bit and he saw, what is somebody burning a burning barrel for? And so it's just like, this doesn't make sense. And he noticed it getting bigger. So he jumps in his truck, he drives down the road, he looks, he calls 911 on his cell phone, tells them, scoots back up the road, tells his crew, unhook what you got, get the hell out of Dodge. And so they skedaddled out of there, and of course we've got the conflagration. So I can assure you the open chain fire is not, and I'm going to emphatically say it was not arson. So you guys can get off of that conspiracy altogether. I know what it is, but I'm going to withhold that. But it was not arson. and it was not intentional, okay? And it was not, I wouldn't call it an accident. It's more of a malfunction than anything else. But anyway, that's what we're dealing with as far as the open chain fire goes. The other fires, suspicious. They are definitely arson. They are, the ones in the Alameda fire. I'm going to call it the Alameda fire complex because you got the Alameda, the origin of the fire initially in the Alameda Street area where they found two corpses in addition to the ignition point. Some opportunist, a half hour after that fire was reported, went and set fire to a abandoned van that was parked in a parking lot or near a road up at a local park area, and it looked like a homeless person was living in their van, and they had a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of conspiracy theories going around that, but that fire did not spread. It just stayed contained to the van. And then, but 6 hours after the Alameda fire started, a gentleman, if I want to call him that, who was known to be a meth addict and a transient person, one of the neighbors saw him starting a fire behind his house in the trees next to the railroad tracks in Phoenix. Now, the Alameda fire started in Ashland and it was working its way down towards Phoenix and was pushed by very strong winds. We had very strong winds that day. So, yeah, they arrested him right away because then they were able to put him in jail. You can look at the Jackson County courthouse and see him. I'm not even going to give him the glory of saying his name or posting his picture here. I just don't do that for people. Nah, he doesn't deserve it. Destroyed a lot of homes. One of the homes that was destroyed, a young family, they had a 3-year-old boy, lost everything. Unfortunately, they did not have insurance. So this is a family, since my wife and I felt helpless that we couldn't help everybody, we can at least reach out and help at least just one family to feel like we're making a drop in a sea of need. So we have dedicated all of our revenue from YouTube and from my merchandise that you can see down below, any sale of merchandise for the rest of the year, we're donating that to them. We're gifting it to them to help them out. So that's the least my family and I can do for this young family. It's a huge sea of need out there. Yeah, so that's it. And now a special story. On my way home, I had my mother-in-law with me. We were setting up bank accounts and getting things done in town. Anyway, we got within 3 miles of the house and I saw fire on the side of the road. I was the first one on the scene, so I stopped, and there was an officer had somebody pulled over a quarter mile down the road. I spun around, went back down, told him fire, and he called the fire department. I ran back up there, stopped. Other people were stopping at that time. We all dropped what we were doing, ran to the fire, and started stomping. I grabbed a cloak out of the back of Mom's car and started beating it, and also stamping it with my feet, and then scraping the ground, making a fire line. And everybody that drove by, nobody passed us by. Everybody stopped. Everybody bailed out, and everybody lended a hand. One guy came over with his pitcher of water and dumped it on a flame. So it's like that, things like that really warm the heart. You see the community step up. And guess what? Not one video exists of that fire. Because in this connected world, some people would rather to put on their cell phone, 911, we got a fire, and then start filming it and do nothing but film it and try to make a viral YouTube video and let the fire take off and destroy a neighbor's home or the whole neighborhood or the whole community. Those people to me are a little selfish. Just put it that way. I'll leave that at that. So, with the power being out here right now, and us stomping a grass fire down the street, those two things are connected. Yesterday, the grass was on fire, we stomped it out. Today, the power's out. And right now, that power line was arcing. That's why the power is out. That's what caused the fire in the grass yesterday. Go figure. They're fixing it right now, so we'll get power on pretty soon. After that incident, because we're having so many arson fires in the area, and yes, there's been several arson fires intentionally set in our area. Everybody's on tenterhooks. We've got community members that are now on night patrol all night long. They're videoing and photographing suspicious vehicles, taking down license numbers, and they're not letting anything get by. So they're getting more people involved with that. After that incident yesterday on the side of the road, I decided to start packing. Yeah, that fire was arson. Let me show you what I'm packing. And it's a very nice weapon to have with you at all times in your vehicle to mitigate situations like this. Yeah. Let me show you what I'm packing here. This is what I'm packing. From now on, I'm going to go buy some more, and I'm going to make sure all my vehicles are have one of these, because you never know when you're going to need it, especially when you have a bunch of foolish and ignorant people running around doing stupid things. So, yeah, I encourage, go to Walmart, go to your outfit shop, go wherever you can, get one of these, a big one, get a big one, and then carry it in your car. You're going to need it. Especially, it's going to be very helpful to yourself, your community, your neighbors. Yeah, I'm glad I have this. And now I'm starting to pack. So that's my call to action in this show. Is get yourself a fire extinguisher and be prepared. Yeah. I got a folding shovel that folds up really tight too that I can pack with me also, and that way I can, instead of melting the soles of my shoes, I could use that in making a little fire break and keeping the fire from spreading. But we got the fire out. We had it out before the fire crew even arrived. They asked us to stand down. Everybody goes, "Yes, sir." You know, yeah, it's all yours. So I just got in my car, turned around, and took another way home. Yeah, it was an interesting day. This is the shovel I'm speaking of. It's collapsible. Let me just open it up here. And you can make a shovel, or a scraper tool. It has a serrated edge here and a serrated edge here. This is handy. Even for camping, it's really handy, but it's extra handy to carry in the vehicle in the case that you come across a fire that you need to destroy the flames or bring the flames down or control the flames as quickly as possible. So also get one of these in addition to that fire extinguisher and carry them in all your vehicles, especially now. So I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a little homestead tucked up in the Cascade Ranges that have some wildfires near us right now. Thunderstorm over the top of us. Haven't seen any rain yet though. We're praying for rain. Please give at www.asantefoundation.org if you feel it in your heart to give. And also, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, then hit that bell icon. What that does is it alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Another thing I want you guys to do, if you would, is just click that like button and like this show. Another thing you can do, which I really appreciate you guys doing, is clicking that share button. Sharing my videos on your social media platforms really helps out my channel a lot. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Reddit, Blogger, Tumblr, and LinkedIn. We'll see you guys in the next episode, and always remember, please be safe and always be kind. Thank you. Bye-bye.